Okay.
Start.
Hello everyone. A very warm welcome to all the teachers from Verispire team. My name is Amrin Pratap Singh, and today we are here in the continuation with the IP battle series for SIATP. And I must say, it is going to be very exciting session today, as we have Miss Nainsi Rashtogi with us to discuss about the new infringement case, that is Apple versus Samsung. So I would like to welcome Miss Nancy. She's a qualified patent agent registered with Indian Patent Office and senior research associate at Best Buy. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Amrinder. Hello, everyone. Today's case is very interesting because it is held between two big giants of mobile industry, Apple and Samsung. So the case basically started in year 2011, and it is still the subject of discussion till date. So let's start the session without wasting any time. So the case started in year 2011 when Apple sued Samsung Electronics by claiming that the Samsung has infringed four of its patent. So basically, those four patents were related to the screen of Apple phone and screen of Apple tablets that we used to call iPhone or iPad. So this is basically about the screen type, screen design kind of thing. So in legal action, the Apple filed action against Samsung and stated that the Samsung has copied design of their phone and tabs. So basically, like because Apple was the leading company from year 2007 to onwards, they have launched their first phone in 2007. That was having a big marketing value, and then Samsung introduced new phones in year 2012-13. So the new phones that were the Samsung Galaxy phone series. So it was held that the Samsung phone were copying the design and the interface of the Apple phones, and those were also protected under patent and design utility patent and design patents. So this was all about the case, how it is started. Basically, Apple was the IP owner in this case. So this is the one of the design patent that Apple has on its screen design. Basically, they are having the rounded corner at four edges. So this was the patent, and then they are having one button on the bottom of the screen. And for the tab also, they are having the rounded corners at the edges, at the corners. So the case evolved around a number of design and utility patents, basically for different functions of a smartphone. Just for example, for tap to zoom and home screen app grid. So what is home screen app grid, that I will explain in further slides. So the Apple further rested their claim on the fact that the iPhone has distinctive user interface, icons, and eye-catching display that gives iPhone a uniqueness. So but that was mistakenly or intentionally opted by the Samsung in their phones and in their tabs. So basically, Apple sue Samsung for the infringement of not one patent but for multiple patents, and for multiple functionalities they were claiming that Samsung has copied. So this was the mixed icon thing that I was saying. I was telling, like in case of Apple, this type of icon was used, and in case of Samsung, they have the green shape, a rounded corner, the rounded corner box having the same message thing depicting. Further, for calling thing, the icon was almost same. For the clock thing, the icon was same. Even the placement was same. Similarly, for this bottom row, almost all the icons were same, like starting with the phone thing. So it was like assist the interface, the icons were copied from the Samsung design, from the Apple design, in the Apple, in the Samsung phone. So this was the case. This was how the case started. So the issue was basically the Apple emerged after 20 years, but the Samsung was the a key company that time in the market. After Nokia and Motorola, Samsung has started manufacturing the phone. But that time Samsung, instead of Samsung, Nokia was leading the market. Then Samsung launched its smartphone, and Apple emerged in that time, in the year 2007, with their own unique design and with their own unique software and the interface pattern. So the Apple when Apple entered the industry, it was a quite unique product for everyone. They were having different design, they were having different kind of interface, and it was very attractive and smooth for users. So because of its uniqueness, because of its creativity, they earned a good profit in the market. And then they claimed, the Apple claimed, because of the fame, because of the profit they were getting with the design and the interface, Samsung started copying their design. So this is the issue, like they accused Samsung for copying their various patents and design applications. Further, Apple person said, like, it is creating a confusion among customers, because the phone is looking quite similarly. Both the device, if we compare side by side, they are looking quite similar. So it is creating confusion to the customers, to the public. So further, Apple was caught using user interface design and pattern at the software level. Means Apple said, like, Samsung is not only the design, Samsung is also copying the user interface and the patterns at software level, such as icon packs, gestures, which made more hard for user to choose the correct device. Because whenever you are going to the market for buying a smartphone, that time people were like, the smartphone were just introduced in the market. The people were not so aware about the companies, not so aware about the quality. So what they used to see, they used to compare the phone side by side. They used to see, like, this is looking good, this is looking good, okay, these functionalities are there. So it is creating the confusion, and it is further impacting the market of Apple. So that is why Apple sued Samsung in the market, in the court. So let's go back a bit. Let's understand what is design patent. Because what Apple claimed, like, the Samsung is infringing 26 devices from Samsung, are infringing four of its patent, including three design patents and one utility patent. So the infringement cost was going to be huge, because there were 26 devices that were held for infringement against Apple patents. So let's understand what is design patent. So in India, what we used to call industrial design, that is being called design patent in US. It is almost similar, we can compare both the rights. So design patent is a form of legal protection of unique visual qualities of a manufactured item or product. So basically it is for aesthetic view. Similarly, a design patent protect the way an article or the product looks, the way they feel. It is purely ornamental. Means how you conceive some design, how any design make you attract with its look and feel. So that is all about the subject matter of design patent. Further, in case of Samsung was accused of copying the look and feel of the Apple iPad too, because of their resemblance are quite similar. So see, if we compare side by side, this is Apple iPad 2 and this is Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. If we compare side by side, like they are quite similar, having the rounded corners and then having the one bottom button they are having at the bottom. So is still the interface is quite similar when we go in detail. So that is why Apple accused Samsung for the design patents, because of the basic designing, basic look and feel of the devices were same. So then there was one utility patent is involved as well. So in India, what we used to say what we used to say patent, or the ordinary patent. In US, we used to call them utility patent. So utility patent is a form of legal protection of a new or improved and a useful product, process or machinery. Basically any improvement if we made in terms of technical functionality, in terms of product technicality, maybe if we are adding few features in the product, maybe if we are adding few steps, or we are doing few improvement in the product or processes, that would be a subject matter of utility patent. So both the IP rights have a difference, that in case of design patents we used to cover the aesthetic view only, strictly the aesthetic view. In case of utility patent we used to protect the technicality of the invention, the novelty of the invention. So an utility patent protects the way an article and product works and performs. It is non-ornamental and purely depends on the working of said product. So in case Samsung was accused of infringing three utility patents of Apple, that were the patents were based on bounce back functionality. Secondly, tap to zoom thing and gesture motion. So these were the three functionality. It was said like Samsung has copied from Apple. So let's understand the timeline. The case started in 2011, when Apple filed one legal suit against Samsung for copying their design and some of the product features. Then in 2011, Samsung complained that has also disobeyed some patents, including camera and wireless communication. So this is not like only Samsung was infringing Apple's patent. Samsung bring the accusation that Apple is also infringing its patents, also infringing its some of the IP rights. Then for the in August 2011, Apple sued Samsung for patent infringement through its product, including Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. Then again, Apple Samsung bring sued back Apple over 3G patents, stated that iPhones such as iPhone 4, iPhone 4S, and the iPad 2 infringed its patent. So this is like the war from both ends. This is not one directional infringement case, we can say. Both are suing, both the companies are suing each other for the infringement of their various patents and design applications. So then in November 2011, Samsung was held victorious against Apple, and the federal court in Australia lifted the preliminary sales injunction ban on the Galaxy tablet sales. So basically, at the first attempt, Apple had its won first, and the injunction was there on the the Samsung Galaxy tablets. So it was lifted by the federal court of Australia. Then in December 2011, Apple failed to block Samsung from selling some of 4G enabled product to the US consumers. Then again, um, the US Court of Appeal for the Federal Circuit gave Apple the consent to look for a sale injunction on Samsung Galaxy Tab. Sale injunction means they need to maintain record, and they need to check like how much sale is there, and what are the features then the Samsung Galaxy Tab are infringing. So this was the tabs are infringing. So they need to maintain one database data sheet for that purpose. Then in again in 2012, the US court conveyed that the Apple's request to prevent Galaxy Tab sales in US, and they had to wait until the completion of court procedure. So see, in Australia in November 2011, the injunction was lifted, and then it was again introduced in 2012 June. So now Samsung need to wait till the completion of all court procedure for further selling the Galaxy Tab. Then next in 2012, one committee was made. One committee was developed. Like they were having 10 jury members, and then in 12 itself, August 12, the Apple won the suit of almost $1 billion against Samsung in the huge court case decision. Then in March 13, due to some disambiguation, the court ordered Apple to return 450 million dollar, and the retrial was ordered because it was held not only Samsung was infringing Apple's patent, but Apple was also infringing some of the Samsung patents. So a to um, decision was made to, like, Apple has to return a substantial amount to the Samsung. Further demanded, like they further need like $379 million from Samsung, along with the $1 billion, but the Samsung contradicted the amount to be 52 million. Like they negotiated further, and internal rounds of discussion were there for negotiating the costs, because both the companies are in conflict. So this was how the case ended with the huge penalty. And this is not only the money, the reputation of the both the companies were also under radar. So it was like their recognition, their reputation cost was there instead of just monetary cost. So what were the facts? Because Apple and Samsung were the competitors, but they were the business partners as well. Because what happened when we are having one patent in the industry, and the companies are working on the same technology, then they need to sometimes share their patent portfolio. They need to do sometime the transfer of the patent, sometime the licensing of the patent, and cross licensing as well. So not only they were competitors, but they were also the business partners, and they were having many shared technologies. Those were essential for the patent, for the phones or for the tabs. And similarly, Samsung was the manufacturer of display panel and wireless communication module that was used by Apple in their product. So because Samsung was the largest supplier that time, and not only for other mobile companies, Apple was also using its components. Then US court allowed both the companies to have a discussion and resolve their matter at their own discretion, because the case was both were in conflict at the legal level. So this was the case. This was how the case ended, with the mutual discussion, ended with the internal discussion, but the huge cost was involved as well. So Apple demanded almost $2.5 billion for the infringement cause, and the Samsung demanded 400 million under the name of royalty, because Apple was using some of its patent. Then further, Samsung asked 2.4% of the amount of each iPhone and iPad, as they consisted the part of manufactured and supplied by the Samsung, because Samsung was the you can say spare part manufacturer for the iPhone or the iPads devices. The specific part was Intel microprocessor basically. So this is the image of Apple 4S device, and this is for Galaxy 4. So both the devices are quite handy, and if we take both the devices in hand side by side, then both looks quite similar. For a common man, for a common person who is not in touch with technology, it is quite difficult to um, uh, recognize the difference in both the phones. So that is why the whole case is developed. That is why it is always said to have some freedom to operate search before launching any product in the market. Sometimes the launch, the confusing launch is intentional, but sometimes it is not intentional. Sometimes it is due to negligence. So that is why it is always advisable to have some freedom to operate search before launching any product in the market. Further, the damages due to patent infringement were also huge. Apple said like 2.4% is a huge amount, and according to the calculation, it should be almost uh, uh, like it is almost 0.0049 dollar per device, and that specific microprocessor is used by several other companies. So why are you not demanding the royalty from all the companies? Why only from Apple? And then in August 12, the jury awarded Apple with 1.505 billion dollar penalty awarded with the case was in favor of Apple. So further, there were 26 Samsung devices that were disobeying the patent law, and was accused of infringing Apple's product based on its hardware and software patents. Then in March 2013, Apple was asked for 50 million, and trial was ordered as a jury member were not competent with the patent infringement cases. So it was like it was a long case. It was the long battle. Till it it held for 7 years. So this way the case was ended with the huge penalty. The Samsung representative admitted in the court that the some Samsung devices are using Apple's IP property, Apple's patent and design, and the Samsung countered that the amount should be $52 million instead of the $2 billion almost the Apple has demanded. So this is the case that ended with the huge cost at the and at the end of Samsung, and also it was the huge uh, deputation for both the companies, because both the companies were having legal battle for almost 7 years, and it was called as the design patent war between two technology giants. So in between, many companies came in the market, and got the benefit they got the benefit of having this fight and having some injunctions that were made on Apple side and that were made on Samsung side from the court. So this way the lawsuit ended. This way the case was ended with the huge penalty at the both at the end of the Samsung, and Samsung has furnished some amount to the Apple for the infringement of their product. So the final decision was made by the court, like this Samsung has to give 290 billion million dollar instead of to Apple instead of 379 million. Then Apple asked to return a sum of 450 million dollar from 1.2 billion due to some disambiguation, and the Apple was left with a grand total of 929 million dollar in that case. So this was the final decision that was made, that include the huge cost. So basically, the Apple and Samsung case not only remind us the most importance of the filing multiple IP rights, like one patent, one article can have multiple IP rights, and that Apple has showed like how to protect the um, the design, the patents for a single article in multiple patents. So we should not neglect the importance of IP before launching any product, before launching any process, or when we are going to the market. It becomes essential important to have the freedom to operate, sir, so that we should not at least end with such a huge penalty, with such huge infringement case. And instead of that, we may apply our energy in some further productive thing. So this was the end of this case. So in the end, like the Apple and Samsung, no matter who emerges as the winner, the consumer will continue to lose until the companies agree on, like, because being the consumer, what we want technological improvement, we want a good product. So these companies who are investing huge money, who are destroying their huge money in this case. So being the consumer, being the producer, what we need to be refrain from such cases, so that our energy could be utilized more productively. So this is the end of this case. And the case was ended with the huge penalty, and as well as with the huge reputation for the both the companies. And many further companies took the advantage of this legal battle, took the advantage of this infringement case. So this is the end of today's session on this note. So it is always advisable to have a good search, to have a good freedom to operate search, so that we can be sure, we can be confident that we are not infringing anyone's IP right, we are not infringing, or we are not suing anyone, we are not uh, into the era of anyone's IP. So that is why we need to conduct such searches. So, ending today's session on this note, thank you so much. So, in case of any query, you can drop your comment in the comment section, and you can also write on this email. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nancy ma'am, for delivering the interesting topic between two tech giants today. And I hope everyone enjoyed that session today. So, as we have don't any queries regarding this session,
Mhm.
so I think we should conclude the session and can request them to drop down their queries.
Okay, sure, Amrin.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much, all of you.
much.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much, ma'am. Have a good day.
yeah. Bye.